right, now moving into my big plant room. This one will take probably just as long to get through as pretty much the rest of my house. So this one has a south facing and a east facing window, so it gets plenty of light. It also is in a room that's used very often, so it can hold quite a few plants. All right, so first up we have my Fiddle Leaf Fig. So this one I got at Home Depot, and when I bought it, it actually had 2 Fiddle Leaf Fig plants in the same pot, which was part of the reason I grabbed it. I think it was like $15 or $16 for both of them, and I was like, crazy good deal. So I grabbed it. One of them died. Neither of them was doing well, was putting on new growth. So I went in to repot them, and I actually discovered that the root plug was still in there. So when they plant the baby plants, there's kind of this little plug that's in there, some like mesh, and sometimes when they repot it, they don't take that off all the way. So I removed that, helped this particular plant, but not the other one. And this one, for probably 3 or 4 months, did not put on any new growth. It wasn't doing worse. It wasn't doing better. It just wasn't putting on any new growth. So what happens very often in that scenario is it was actually putting on lots and lots of roots that were down there. And then just here within the space of probably since Christmas, it's put on this huge new leaf here and this little baby leaf that's coming in just kind of back to back actually. So I'm hoping it's actually going to put on quite a bit of new growth now that it's happy, now that it's down in that soil, it's got a good root system. So just a little lesson, if something's not growing, it's not struggling, it's not doing better, maybe just check your roots and see if there's something that's kind of impeding that growth there. And back here in this corner of shame is my other Wars Bushy Eye. This one was doing really, really poorly in that other room, and it struggled a little bit with the shipping. It never really quite recovered from the shipping process. And so I decided to convert it over to LECA to see if I could help. I don't know that the experiment is going well. It's not doing worse. It's just not doing anything really. So we'll see. I'll leave it there. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep feeding it. I'll keep you up to date on it. I don't know that that one's going to do so well, but a grand experiment. I've got the other one in the other room that's doing okay. And it could be something like a fungal infection or something that actually is causing problems with this and not necessarily my care. And then next to that, my big old pride and joy, my Monstera deliciosa. Look at all those beautiful, beautiful leaves that it's got on it. Oh my gosh, it's putting on so many big, beautiful leaves. I'm hoping for the double fenestration soon on one of the next couple of leaves here. And it might actually need to be repotted. If you look in here, tons and tons of aerial roots. And I think it might need to be repotted, but I think it can survive until this spring. I don't know if I want to upgrade maybe one more pot size so that it can get nice and big and huge and take over, or if I want to divide the plant. I haven't decided yet, so leave maybe a vote in the comments below. Should I keep it growing big? Should I divide it up and chop it back a little bit and try to grow it? Let me know, right? But my pride and my joy, I love this one so much. And then here is my other Stromanthe Trio Star. This one was sad and neglected at the grocery store, and so even though I had one already, I couldn't resist this one. This one gets neglected quite a bit. This one's just like, it just chills here, right? I probably forget to water it, whatever. And this one actually is less of a diva than my other one. This one is just like, it's going to take whatever I throw at it. It's got these huge, huge leaves. So I'm going to just let it chill here. If it's happy living in this little space, more power to you. You just keep growing, girl. And down here, I have my pink princess. You guys, I love this plant. All right, so this one has put on quite a bit of new growth. It's put on 3 or 4 new leaves since it's been in my care, and it is actually increasing in the amount of variegation. Again, I'll keep an eye on that. I've gotten one new one coming in right here. Probably post that to Instagram when it unfurls, let you know how much variegation is happening. But I've been really impressed by the ease of care of this one. It just chills, it's happy. I water it when it's thirsty, and it's doing fantastically. Back behind that, I actually have 2 more of my Oncidium style orchids, right? So you can see those 2 back there. And these are actually also slowly but surely recovering from being mishandled, not having a good root system. This one used to be way more wrinkly than this, and it's actually starting to plump back up again a little bit. So I'm hoping that I actually have these guys on the road to recovery. I'll let you know if they put on new growth, if they bloom, all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping, because they were both beautiful, beautiful plants. Up above that, we'll talk about you in a second, Maranta. All right, so I've got my Australis Lisa. This one, I think it's just chilling. I think it's wintertime. It doesn't want to put on any new growth. So, you know, it's just chilling back there. I'll let you know over the summertime if it decides to grow. It was a really prolific grower for me earlier this year. So hopefully, again, this summer it'll put on a significant amount of new growth. My pink lady, or my pink marble peperomia. This one, all the big leaves died back and it started to put on all these little baby leaves, but seems reasonably happy and healthy. So again, I'll keep an eye on that. As long as there's some leaves, there's still hope, right? So this here is my big old variegated Moranta that I just recently purchased and then converted over to semi-hydroponics for you guys. I will link you to that video. I wanted to leave it as it is. Here we are, probably about a week since I filmed that video, maybe 10 days, right? And you can see there's some leaves that are wilting a little bit and yellowing, right? There's a couple leaves that are curled up, but overall, seems like it's doing okay. So that's kind of like 1 week into the process. That's pretty normal for me for converting over to semi-hydroponics, that you get a little leaf loss, probably some of these bigger, older leaves, things that didn't have great root system to begin with. And then if you push through this, don't freak out, don't convert it back, push through this and it will actually adjust and convert over to that semi-hydroponics. All right, up above that, we've got my Calathea. I believe this one is the Dottie. This one I thought was on the brink of death. It's putting on plenty of new growth. It's happy, it's healthy, finally on the road to recovery. So again, you guys stick with your plants. If you show them some love very often, they'll come back and show you some love back. I expect this one to be doing super well into this next growing season. And behind that is the remains of my Alocasia infernalis. This one was doing super well and putting on new growth, and then just kind of decided it didn't like me. I'm hoping that it just kind of went dormant. You can see there's maybe some signs of a little bit of growth there, I'm hoping. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one, keep the soil just maybe a little bit on the moist side, just to see if I can get it to put on those new growth again. I don't know what happened. It just had like 3 new leaves and then they all just died. And again, maybe it was just too dark, too cold, and just went dormant. Same thing over here with my Alocasia Black Velvet. This leaf has been there forever, so I'm expecting that this leaf is dying from old age. The problem has been that it hasn't put on any new growth. The bulb seems happy and healthy. Again, I'm going to keep it kind of moist. I'm hoping it's just a case that it was just a little dormant. It's winter time, right? And maybe it will put on plenty of big new leaves come summertime. If you guys have any advice about this plant, I have it in my good luck grow pot, because this one's my baby. I need it to grow. I need it to put out those new leaves. And you guys can see it's a pretty good day here. It's 48% humidity, 70 degrees in here, right? It's actually a pretty decent day. Up here, I have my Hoya Alex putting on a brand new growth up here. It's got all these big old leaves trailing down here. Those Hoyas just do really well in my house. Don't ask me if I have any secret sauce. I don't know. They just seem happy. I don't give them any more or less care than I do some of these other more finicky plants. I'm looking at you. Hoyas, I don't know. Maybe that's where my green thumb lies, is just in the Hoyas, right? This one's putting on all that new growth. And up here I have my Alocasia zebrina. I believe this is the Reticula, with all this kind of modeling up here. And you can see the leaves are starting to go a little bit yellow. Again, this one put on a couple of brand new leaves and then decided, hey, it's winter time. Maybe I don't want to grow anymore. Seems pretty happy and healthy. I think I've got the watering okay. So we'll see. I've got my fingers crossed on this one. I don't know. Like my Alocasia Ivory Coast does crazy insane no matter what I throw at it. And then some of these other Alocasias just They don't like me, and I'm really, really hoping it's just them going dormant for the winter. And my other pride and joy, it's my Monstera Thai Constellation. All right, look at this beautiful baby. And it is pregnant. There's a new leaf coming in right there. And I can already see, I hope you guys can see some of those white streaks, white splotches back there. So I'm hoping it's going to be a really, really variegated leaf. I am super excited. This one, oh my gosh, I love Monsteras. They're just so easy. They take whatever they throw at you. Hoyas, Monsteras, even to some extent those philodendrons, right? I got those. Those are under control, right? I'm just looking at you, alocasias. Come on, grow. All right, down here, my ZZ Raven. So I chopped off that one dead leaf from that unboxing. I'll make sure I link that unboxing. But otherwise, perfectly happy, perfectly healthy. Look at those beautiful leaves. Again, I don't know that this is the exact spot I want it to live in forever, but I wanted to make sure that it was getting some really good sunlight for these first few weeks. Make sure everything is completely happy and healthy. And my variegated rubber plant, my Ficus taniki, right? Putting on another new leaf here. Right, super slow grower, even though it's getting pretty decent light. Again, I know it's wintertime. I'm trying to be patient. Come on, spring. I want some new growth. But you can see, doing pretty well there. Just, it's not doing anything. It's just chilling. Here lies the remains of a Caladium. Again, I'm waiting for spring. Let's see if it'll put on some new growth. Right, every once in a while, as I'm misting my plants, I'll just kind of mist the soil a little bit. You can see maybe a tiny bit of green there. I don't know if that's a Caladium or something else. I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to them till spring. If spring and summer comes and they don't pop anything out, I'm gonna recycle those pots. I've got one more that's kind of dormant as well, but let's hope. Hold on. And my other Begonia maculata whitey eye. This one is so big, so huge. Right, just putting on lots of new growth. Again, I've taken a couple cuttings off of this one and it just keeps popping out those leaves. So it's doing really well. One of my propagations of my snake plant. And you can see I'm still using my light, right? Nothing really new to report here. I'll link to that video where I test the lights, right? You can see I've got my Hoya shepherd eye in the back. My Hoya sunrise, which actually, that one is the one that has actually put on a little bit of new growth. Right, and I've got my jade plant, which I moved here. It decided it didn't like me very much, so it's gonna get some light and we'll see if I can get it to survive. Way back there, my really sad watermelon peperomia. I don't know, like it grows in leaves, but they're all weird and deformed, and I don't know, maybe it's just sick and I need to buy a new one. I don't know. If I do, I might try to buy one locally. It did not ship well at all. My Hoya Crimson Queen, which is putting on a couple new leaves. Right, and my Hoya Sweet Scent. Again, that one's in semi-hydro. Nothing exciting to report. She's just chilling, she's just growing. Up here I have my Hoya Crimson Princess, which I'm happy to report is on the mend. If you saw my video earlier in December, it was not super happy. She's doing better, she's getting more light. In the back, Peperomia Rosso. That one's actually doing pretty well too. It's just chilling. Nothing special as far as care. Right, a few little propagations, and then also my Hoya Mcafee, the one with the elbow marginata, and that one actually just popped out. A new leaf there. Right, so it's happy. It's converting over. I have my Hoya Polynura, or my fishtail Hoya. Again, that one's in the Leca. It's super happy. Look at all this. Look at that new growth. It loves it. So there's a little tip. If you like the Polynura, put it in the semi-hydro. It loves it. It's great. Look, and it's just getting a little bit of gentle southern light here in the evening. Back here in the back, I have my Hoya Matilda doing great. I just actually upgraded pot size, right? Because this one was taking over that pot. So that was another one I decided it's happy. Let's just upgrade it, let it grow, let it do its thing. All right, up here I have two more of my orchids that are in recovery. These two adore the Leca. right? So if you have Phalaenopsis orchids, please put them in leca. They will be so happy with you. Another Caladium in the back. And I have my Christmas cactus, right? This one's been doing pretty well. This one I got again in that plant tour that I took in Denver. My parallel peperomia. Okay, guys, don't come for me. I don't love peperomias. They don't love me back either, right? And I know maybe I'm guilty of neglecting this one a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe I'll give it a little extra love and care and see if I can change my mind about it. Up here, I have some propagations that I'm working with right now. I have one of my other Hoya Alex. Again, look at all this speckling on this one. Since I converted it to semi-hydro, it's got all this speckling. It's got a new leaf. Again, my Hoyas and my orchids are loving the semi-hydro. Right, another little Scindapsus. This one's doing really well. This one right here is my Philodendron gloriosum. So this one came with a leaf, died right away. Don't give up, right? This has got leca. I put it in the leca, put on a little baby leaf, and this all from this little stump here, right? So even if you've got a little stump, don't stress about it. You might be able to get some growth. In here, I have my Monstera SP Peru, where the leaf just up and died. But again, I have a little stump like this that's got some green on it. So I'm sticking it in there, doing the same thing I did with this one. Hopefully, come on, hopefully it'll grow. My spider plant that I moved, it's actually much happier putting on new growth now that I've moved it to get a little more light. So maybe we'll grow it up nice and big and healthy and see if it will do okay back in that original spot in the bathroom. And another Begonia. This one is an unknown cutting. I've heard maybe Lucerna. All right, I got this one from somebody locally. Just finally putting on some new, really healthy, really good growth. So again, hopefully this growing season will grow up nice and big and strong and healthy, and I'll have some fantastic updates for you. Down here we have my birthday present from back in October. This is the Oncidium Sherry Baby. This one my parents actually got for me from a healthy grower. So it has a fantastic root system in there. It's been happy. The blooms do smell like chocolate. I think they smell a little more like shea butter, but that kind of is personal, how you personally smell it, right? This one's been fantastic, and it needs to be repotted and possibly divided. So when you can, please get them from reputable sellers, right? Especially orchids, and you will be much happier than getting them from the grocery store or a big box store. And last, but by no means least, we have all of my Calatheas that I'm really I want them to do well. So they are next to my humidifier, which is off just so that you can get a better view here. I have my Zebrina. Again, a leaf that's not, that one's an older one, but it's also putting out some new growth. It's been really happy with this amount of light and this amount of humidity, so she can stay. We have my Calathea orbifolia. This one I got as 2 little baby plugs. Keeps kind of going up and down, right? But there's a little bit of new growth that I've seen coming in. So we're going to keep trying. If I see a bigger one than this, I would not be opposed to purchasing another one. Just, this one's taking forever. Come on, little baby, grow. Back here we have another Calathea. I'm having a brain fart at this moment, so I'll put the name up on the screen. This is one that I got from Hertz that in my last video tour was not doing so hot. It's recovered. I took out the non-variegated leaves. I moved it right next to my humidifier. It's happy. It's fine. And we're going to finish with Ophelia. So I rescued this from Walmart where it was drowning. It was absolutely just soaked in water. Kind of converted it, wasn't sure if she was going to make it. Eventually converted it over to leca when I started experimenting with leca. And you guys, it has paid off, right? It has a beautiful bloom, which I'm so excited about, and a couple more buds, right? So again, if you have some Phalaenopsis orchids, highly, highly recommend planting them in the leca. Takes a little while for them to convert, but once they're converted, they just start going gangbusters. So that pretty much sums up all the plants that I have here in my house. So I think that does it for the houseplant tour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all the different plants that I have around and seeing the condition that they're actually in right now. Like I said, some of them are healthier, some of them maybe not so happy, and I try to just show you everything in the condition that it's already in. If you have questions about specific plants, specific plant care, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy to do specific videos on certain types of plants, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.